Hello and welcome back to Lesson 2 here at Planet Diversity. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you about today is multisensory learning. So multisensory learning is all about encouraging learners to use more than one of their senses when taking in new information or learning a new skill. So we have 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. So ideally what we would do, we would use at least 2 of these senses when we're learning something new. Now, why do we need to have multisensory learning? So multisensory learning engages different parts of a learner's brain. This gives us more than one way to make connections, learn new ideas, and remember more information. So learners form a relationship or a connection between what we say, what we see, and what we do. The main benefit of multisensory learning is that it helps children remember more information. Now, lots of us with dyslexia and other neurodiverse learning profiles as well, we understand that what a poor memory is. So being able to learn in a way that allows us to retain more information has got to be a bonus. So the key to effective multisensory teaching is bringing together a range of sensory experiences. And this ensures that each learner is engaged and able to access learning in a way that suits them. So multisensory is undoubtedly a great way to learn. It's been proven to improve memory retention, so remembering what has been learned. So multisensory learning can be adapted to support learners from the early years all the way through to adulthood. So, regardless of subject, regardless of age, regardless of level of study, multisensory works. So, let's see how we can use multisensory learning today. Now, any ideas to bring more of our senses to the activities we're going to be doing today, pop them below the video, and then I'll see what I can produce and see if it works for me. And then maybe you can tell me what worked for you and what didn't work for you. So let's have a look at our first task. Now, the first task we're going to be doing in lesson 2 is alphabetical order. Now, any situation where we have to put information in order, such as the alphabet, times tables, telling the time, months of the year, and so on, can be a real challenge for our dyslexic brains. So let's have a go and see where we get up to. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is, in your own time, of course, you're going to either read these words, here we go, or listen to them by clicking on the talking text button. Each of those words contains a short vowel sound. So let's remind ourselves what a short vowel sound is. So our 5 vowels are a, e, I, o, and we can also say them a, e, I, o, u. So a short vowel, and if you say these 5 sounds, they're very quick. So a, e, I, o. So those are the sounds we're working on, but it's the sound a that you can find in all of these words. So what I'm going to ask you to do is use the alphabet to help you put the words in alphabetical order. Now, for lots of us, using a dictionary and putting anything in order, it just overwhelms our brains. All right, so I'm hoping this little trick today, it does take time and it does take effort, but the more you do this, it will help, I promise. So let's have a look. So here at the bottom of the page, we have the alphabet broken up into 3 sections. Now, these are the sections that we're going to break up or divide a dictionary into when we move on to our dictionary lessons. So you can see that the vowels are in red and the consonants are in black. Now, remember, I did write this out like this, and I'm going to do it again. Consonants, because quite often we can mispronounce this word. So what I'm going to ask you to do is pause the video and draw a line from the first letter of each word to its place in the alphabet. So you can see here, we've got B or B, and we've got this here. The next sound or letter is L, so we do a line from the L and down we go. And the same for the remaining 4 words. So we've got a H here, or a H sound, S, a R, and a H. All right, so we've got 2 lines going to this same letter. And that's something we're going to need to consider when we're putting these words in alphabetical order. So instead of working out whereabouts these words go, if you've done this, and then I'm going to change colour now and use a brighter colour, I want you to circle the letters that you've drawn a line from the word to the letter in the alphabet. And what this does, it makes it really clear to see in which order they should appear when we're putting them in alphabetical order. So we can see B here is first in the alphabet because it's closest to the beginning. Now we've got 2 words beginning with H or H. So we've got hand and we've got hat. So what we do in this case, let's write them down over here so we can see them nice and clearly. And we go to the next letter because they both got the same first letter, but unfortunately they've both got the same second letter as well. So what we're going to do now is go to the first letter that is different in both of these words. So we've got an N in hand, so let's circle that one, and we've got a T sound in hat. And you can see straight away the N is going to come before the T. So which word comes first? Is it hand or is it hat? So the first letter that is different in both of these words is N and T. N comes first. So hand, let's put this here, making a lot of mess here. So this comes second in the alphabet, in alphabetical order, and hat comes third. So what we're doing now, we're finding for which word comes fourth when we place all these words in alphabetical order. And you can see this, so we've got rid of that. Let's cross that out so we don't kind of count it again. And we can see that L or the L sound comes fourth. So that's at the word lamp. So lamp comes fourth. Then we have the R or the R. So the R is the name of the letter, not the sound. So a word that starts with R comes fifth, which is rat. And then we have a word that starts with a S, which is stamp. Let me erase this here because I've just repeated the word. So let's go back to that, and that one's the fifth, in fifth place. Stamp is sixth place. So we've done, even though I've made an awful mess over the screen, you can see we put them in alphabetical order. Now, just watch the video, have a go if you feel happy to do so, but only move on to doing this task yourself when you feel ready. So let's just remove everything on here and let's see if we can simplify what we've just done. So this time I'm going to ask you to put the words lamp, rat, and back in alphabetical order. So let's not overcomplicate this with using 6 words. Let's just do 3 at a time. So here in the word back, we've got a B at the beginning, and we can circle that there. The next word is lamp, and it starts with an L, so we circle that here. And then rat has the R at the beginning, so that's going to be our last word. And just by looking, we go to the beginning of the alphabet, and underneath each of these 3 different letters, we've got first, second, and third, because that's the order in which they appear from starting at A. Okay, so if we put these in order, we know the word starting with a B comes first. So back is first when we put these in alphabetical order. Lamp is in second place, and then finally we've got rat. So have a pause. If you think that 6 words is just too many words for trying this for the first time, Just choose 3 different words, or pick 3 words that start with a different letter from wherever, from a book you're reading, or a magazine, or a comic, or something that you've said. Okay, so hope that makes sense. We're going to be doing a lot more work on alphabetical order, but a good first point is just picking 3 of those words. All right, now let's look at the second task we're going to look at today. And again, we've got the talking text button there, and this is called rhyming words. Now, sound training is so important for those of us with dyslexia. Not only, obviously, is it one of our senses, but 80% of the dyslexic population have a problem processing information we hear. Okay, so this is something we can't just ignore it because we find it difficult. We develop our weaknesses and use our strengths. So sound training is going to be super important, and the sound element is going to be at the forefront of everybody's mind when you're doing these activities. So let's have a read at what's expected of you. So there are 10 objects on the tray. Can you find the rhyming word that goes with each item? Add each rhyming pair to your notebook. So as we go through these, you can use the back of something you've printed if you've printed the resources for this out. All right. So, or you can have a notebook that is used as a personal dictionary. So at the top of each page, you have each letter of the alphabet. So you're going to have 26 pages. So if you come across this word and you're not sure what it means or how to say it, you'd go to the letter H in your personal dictionary. You write the word down, maybe even you circle or highlight a particular sound in red or blue if it's a consonant. But then you could write a sentence using this word to help you remember what it is. Or, which is my preferred option, you can draw a little sketch or a little image to show you what the word says. Okay, so let's have a look. So the words we're going to be using are found at the bottom of the page. All right, so let's look at each item on the tray. So we've got a head. We've got sit. We've got clip, mitts, shed, lips, or you can, I've got lips on here, but if you said lip, that's absolutely fine. Then we've got cut and cot. So what I'm going to ask you to do is just to pause the video and see if you can find the words that have a short a, e, or o sound that we've not added to our list. And if you can find that, then please add them to your notebook. All right, so what we've got here is the word head. All right, so we need to find a word that rhymes with head. So when we're looking for a rhyme, we're looking towards the middle and the end of a word. So let's write our word head here. So we've got the e sound there and the d at the end. So what we're looking for, that has the ed sound. Okay, so ignore the sound at the beginning. So let's look at these words. So we've got head, then we've got sit, mit, cut, cot, clip, hut, red, hot, and lips. Now I'm hoping you will have spotted that when you listened using the talking text button, or you said this word, red, you can hear that the same sound in the middle and at the end is exactly the same. So it's not what letters are there or which letters are there. It's the sound that these letters or a letter makes. All right. So head and red go together. So add each rhyming word to your notebook. So if you've got head there, we can write the word red next to it. And as you use these, you can cross them out. So then that will leave you with fewer options and hopefully you'll find it easier to complete. So let's just bear with me a second and I'm just grabbing my pen. So we're going to do one more. All right. So let's have a look. So this time I want you to think about the word shed. All right. Now, What you're going to do, because I've said the word shed, you're going to look down at the bottom and to see if I've said the right word. And listen to the sound at the beginning of the word shed. Okay, we haven't got anything that starts with a sh there. So that means we need to work again and have a look at that image to make sure we can match the picture to the word. Now, I'm hoping you will have spotted that this isn't a shed, it's a hut. All right, so then we've got the word hut here, and we're looking for a word that rhymes with hut. So pause the video, see if you can, don't rely on looking at the words, look at the pictures to help you, but don't rely on the pictures because we don't want you guessing, as what will happen to, what's just happened to me will happen to you. So we'll presume that something is a shed, and it's not, it has to match with the letters and the words down at the bottom. So let's have a look at the other items on here. So we're looking for a word that rhymes with hut. So we've got head, sit, mit, cut. Okay, so cut rhymes with hut, and it's got the same vowel sound up, and it's got the same sound at the end. Then we've got cot. Now, cot and cut aren't exactly right. They're almost there, so let's move on. We've got clip. We've already got the hut, which is what we're working on. Red, hot, and lips. So are there any other words that rhyme exactly with the word hut? So hopefully in your notebook, you will have cut and hut as your rhyming pairs. So can you have a go at the other words? Use the talking text button as frequently as you need to. And we're going to move on to our next task. So it's one more task than we did on our first lesson yesterday. All right. So you don't need to do all 3 tasks at the same time. You can do one, have a break, because what you'll find if you haven't accessed dyslexia support before, you're going to find yourself really tired. So that's going to affect your focus, and that's going to affect how well you do and your understanding. And if you don't feel great about doing something, you're not going to want to continue. So finish wherever you choose. These lessons and the resources are always going to be there for you. And then we're going to move on to our 3rd task today. Now this, you will see, looks very similar to lesson 1. We've got a table full of items, images, and words, but don't rely on the pictures. So for those of you who learned to read when the teacher or a parent or somebody said, look at the words and see if you can work it out look at the pictures, sorry, and see if you can work it out what the word is. That's not going to help at all, as the level of words we need to read and spell progresses. So we need to know rules, we need to know theory, and we can apply that as we develop. All right, so we do use images sometimes to help you when we're learning something new, but occasionally they'll be removed as well, so you don't rely on them. So the first thing I want you to do on our 3rd task is point and say the words that start with a t sound, and use a blue pen to circle this sound. Now, that's what you were doing in lesson 1. So we're working on particular sounds. I'm hoping you'll notice over the first few lessons. So once you've done that with your blue pen for consonants, then I want you to say the words that have a short vowel sound a, as in apple. Now, then we're going to go on to number 3, which words, if any, end in a vowel. So that's an a, I, o, e. Can you see any? And then step 4, lots of small steps on here, but it's really important if you can do them in this order. So this time I want you to say the words aloud. So give your brain as much information through the ears as it needs in order to process or make sense of information we hear. So say the words aloud that rhyme with tap. So you're saying them aloud, and words that rhyme. So we're not looking for tap, we're looking for words that rhyme with this, and we've just been doing some rhymes. And then finally, find and say the word hat. So where can you see the word hat here? There we go. Look at the letters. Take away the, then say what you hear when hat has no sound. So you're playing about with these sounds, you're putting them in, you're taking them out, we're using rhymes. We're then developing sequential learning, so alphabetical order, all right? So I hope that these 3 activities didn't scare you and didn't overwhelm you, and that you found some pleasure in them. And I'm hoping that you'll get some pleasure knowing that you're getting the right help, all right? So let me just remind you what I said at the beginning of the lesson. Any ways that you can adapt these 3 activities to make them more multisensory, post below the video, and I'll look forward to listening to them or reading them. All right. I listen to most things on my computer. So if you've got a text to voice app on your computer, that's what I use. So thank you for joining me for lesson 2, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.